One of the greatest mistakes that parents make about their children isn't that they don't love their children. It's that they confuse keeping their children happy with preparing them for life. And those are two very, very different things. Hey, welcome back. I'm Papa Todd. You know, human beings, we always seek the path of least resistance, right? Children are no different in that aspect. They're always going to prefer the easy path. They're always going to, look for comfort. I mean, I know I did when I could, I'd always want to pick the easiest way. Most of us did. And if given the choice, most children are going to pick the path with the most fun, the least responsibility, right? More comfort and less work when they can. It's logical, makes all kinds of sense. That's very, very normal. But the problem begins with adults never asking anything more of their kids. We now live in a world that's designed to capture attention. That's in the form of screens, pads, tablets, games, something that's streaming seems constantly, it's almost endless scrolling that's going on in our world with these kids. And unfortunately, many families have slowly adopted entertainment as their main source of activity together as a family. Instead of building something, instead of learning something, instead of serving someone, they're just consuming over and over and over. Raising children often requires things that are unpopular. It requires boundaries, expectations, accountability, consequences, and it should be teaching responsibility. It's not because we're trying to make life difficult for them. It's really the opposite. We're trying to prepare them for reality. You know your kids are going to face difficulty one day. It's your responsibility to get them there and get them prepared for it. One thing I've noticed throughout my entire life, and I've been a scoutmaster a number of many years at raising my own children, raising other people's children, and I've noticed some things throughout my life in that amount of time. Children become more confident when they are capable, right? So when you make them become more capable, they're going to be confident. But not when they're constantly praised, everyone gets a trophy. Not when every obstacle in their life is removed for them. Every hurdle, they immediately come to a stop and they have to have help. When they learn to do things on their own, build things, fix things, carry some level of responsibility, that competence creates confidence. Not fake confidence, real confidence. When making decisions for children, I think there's always one question that every parent and maybe grandparent needs to ask. Am I doing this because it's easiest right now? Or because it will help them become stronger later in life? Those answers aren't always the same, are they? Now, I'm guilty of this, and I know many grandparents out there are. Some grandparents think their only responsibility is just to spoil that grandkid, right? I get that, but I don't truly believe that's our job. I think grandparents are uniquely positioned to pass down wisdom. Maybe it's stories from your childhood. Maybe your grandparents' stories. Maybe it's some skills, right? Things that you knew happened. Maybe it's knowledge, a perspective. Think about your perspective when you grew up, all the things you didn't have that they have today. I know my granddaughter was amazed that I didn't have the internet when I was born. There's a lot of crazy things out there that they just don't understand. Their perspective is completely different. Those things that don't always fit into a busy modern life and a busy modern schedule. Some of those greatest lessons in a child's life that a child will ever learn, they may come from just sitting down with a grandparent for a little bit. The fact is, a healthy society needs builders, people who can solve problems and really create value for the world, people who can lead families, serve their communities. Guess what? That starts long before adulthood. Those lessons have to start early. And that starts where you have to teach children that life's not all about being entertained nonstop. It's about becoming useful, capable, and trustworthy. Hopefully my grandchildren will watch this video one day, and I hope they learn something from it. I hope they understand that everything good that came into my life came from learning responsibility, not comfort, not convenience. It came from lessons of responsibility. Sometimes you were very uncomfortable. This may be a surprise to you, but responsibility doesn't take away freedom. It actually gives you freedom. Those responsibilities are going to create opportunities and freedom for your children someday. And when you hold off and you make everything easy, you're not going to create those opportunities of freedom in their life in the future. So what skill or lesson, or maybe it was just a responsibility did you have that you had to learn from your parents as a child that helped you as an adult? I'd really like to hear it. In the comments down below, please leave that reply. And in the meantime, I need you to get grounded, get steady, and stay ready. We'll see you next week.